Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got a video today for Sugar Tits.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another Sugar Tits video. It's raining misogyny, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I just did a video about a crazed woman in Victoria, Australia, who lit her longtime friend on
We did cover this.
fire for making a misogynistic joke towards her. That's right, the old classic sexist joke of get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich can now earn you over 55% of your body burnt to shit. And although this case
It is such a common joke. I don't even think people take offense to it much anymore. I guess women would.
may not be as extreme, it's still disappointing. It's absolutely funny as fuck, but very disappointing. And sad to watch. You see, no man is safe anymore. Dare to make a sexist joke on social media, they will come for you. Your job will be cancelled and your life potentially ruined. At least that's what this cop here on the Gold Coast where I live is finding out firsthand for himself. Police officer under investigation over Facebook comment on domestic violence rally. The police commissioner Shane Shellaby called the alleged comment disappointing. Ah, bullshit. I bet deep down inside he had a good chuckle. A Gold Coast police officer is being investigated over an alleged social media comment insulting women who were protesting against domestic violence.
Queensland's police service is under fire this morning with calls to have an officer stood down after he allegedly made offensive comments about a domestic violence rally.
The rally was held at May 11th at Broadbeach as part of a national day of action to support domestic violence victims. And there were a whole range of chicks who turned up, holding
It's just so funny to me that they will go and march over a domestic violence victim, which I don't even think there's as many as other types of victims. But this is the most important thing.
signs that read, "We are the voices of the women who no longer have one, and walking home shouldn't be a death sentence." Now, don't get me wrong, domestic violence, and I stress this point, towards any gender, is tragic, and we should do our utmost to help combat it. But this officer sure pissed off a lot of women from this rally and the general public when he allegedly posted a comment from his Facebook account on a thread for the domestic violence victims page saying,
All I see is a lot of women sitting around and a lot of sandwiches not being made.
LOL!
I applaud you, sir. Ooh, the balls on you. The cheek of it, you cheeky little bastard. Now that's your go-to standard sexist comment, if you want to ruffle some feminist-type bitches' feathers. But I would...
I can't believe, again, it's like a little joke. Was it really that bad? I mean, I guess because they were marching for domestic violence victims, but it's still just a joke.
Still say posting it on a thread for domestic violence victims requires a big brass set of bollocks, sir. The comment has since been deleted, and the Queensland Police Service said that both the comment and the officer who allegedly made it are being investigated. They released a statement saying, "We are aware of this matter, which is subject to internal investigation. It would be inappropriate to further comment at this stage." Meanwhile, the boys in blue down at the station are having a right fucking laugh. No. See, this is where we are today. Male cheekery is not allowed.
It's the type of thing
Is that what it's called? Cheekery? I like the Australian word for it.
that just isn't really socially acceptable to say
Oh, I guess it's like being cheeky. Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
nowadays, especially if you are in the position of someone like a police officer that is held to a higher standard.
Rascallion bloke talk is considered toxic masculinity. Recently, the local government down here allocated a stupid amount of money for another bullshit cause. And you know what that cause was? Promoting inclusion of women in male spaces. That's right. If you were willing to invite women into your spaces, they were going to give you some free fucking money. And that includes fishing clubs, men's sheds, woodworking shops. Basically places where men go to get away from women. So
And women don't even like doing those things. Why? Why are you subjecting men to torture when they've already found something they enjoy with the boys?
if you have no problem letting your
That is not video games, right? Because everybody hates video games. What, we can't woodwork? Can't make some banjos?
Woman, come into the bathroom and watch you while you're taking a massive shit, you might just get some grant money for it. So posting this kind of comment has its risks today. For anyone really, but if your job is within the public sector, like being a cop or a doctor or someone who practices health or care, you are held to an even higher standard and you can kiss your job fucking goodbye.
Damn. Can't even make funny jokes as a doctor now, huh?
Now, as you can imagine, this has caused a lot of outrage. The acting police commissioner is aware of this comment, and he does say that there is an internal investigation underway.
So this cop's boss has come out and said, we work hard every single day of the week, keeping our victim survivors safe in domestic and family violence incidents. We expect
So much BS in this video right here with this women's march
professional
stuff.
behaviour. AKA, no misogynistic jokes about how chicks belong in kitchens making sandwiches. Oh god, it's a fucking joke. On Thursday, Sunrise reporter Georgia Costi spoke about the incident. Oh, here we go. It's the type of thing that just isn't really socially acceptable to say, especially if you are in the position of someone like a police officer who is held to a higher standard, Costi said. As you can imagine, this has caused a lot of outrage. Alright, I'll give it to you that maybe he shouldn't have posted it on that particular thread. Yeah,
He was a little pushing it, I do agree.
and that's probably the worst place to find a bitch who can hold down a misogynistic joke. But it really demonstrates to me how lad talk, bloke talk, is becoming a dying thing of the past.
True. We used to be able to just, what Trump said. Grab him, just things we said in the locker room talk or whatever. Yeah, it was just slightly more offensive, slightly more egregious, maybe it was more degeneracy a bit, but it was amongst boys and we understood that it was all jokes. It's jokes majority of the time.
There was this show down here in Australia called The Footy Show, and it had so much bloke cheekery in it.
Believe this, I have been accused of being sexist. Now, you couldn't believe that, could you?
No way.
What do you reckon? Can you believe that?
Believe it. I watch the footy show every Thursday night and I believe it.
Is that right? Well, look, thank you very much for speaking us. What a magnificent breast you've got too, madam. He's right here. I feel like we've run into the Aboriginal team from Darwin. This is Eddie's secretary, Divine, or Brownie as we call her. She's there to take Eddie's dictation.
1999, Newman appeared in blackface on The Footy Show, pretending to be Indigenous player Nicky Winmar.
Sorry I'm late, mate. This is as close as we could get. He's not here. Don, ask me some questions about the Western Bulldogs. I know everything. I know all the players.
Hello, madam. How are you?
Again, I don't see it as offensive, but I'm not black myself. But if someone did if someone wanted to dress like Bruce Lee and kind of did their eyes like Bruce Lee, I probably wouldn't be too mad about it. At least just how I see it. But I don't know. That's me though.
Fine, how are you?
I must tell you what magnificent breasts that you do have. Oh, jeez.
Big weekend coming up with the Mardi Gras up in Sydney. You'll be looking forward to that, boys.
This seems like the Man Show, very similar to the Man Show here in the United States as I was growing up. Very similar to that.
We're just actually working what sort of outfits we're going to wear this weekend.
What sort of monkey would be marrying that woman?
That monkey right there.
You can't call him a monkey. This doesn't go to Malaysia.
And surprise, surprise, there were women in the audience who laughed at misogynistic jokes made on that show.
Well done to the girls from Victoria who gave South Australia a nice old belting in the National Grand Final too, so well done. We'll talk to the girls a bit later on. Sorry, Sam?
Superbox, how appropriately named that is.
But finding a woman who can take a sexist jab is a rare thing of the past. Even more just having a laugh at it and taking a sexist swing yourself at the bastard. You'll be hard-pressed to find one these days. But guess what? They shut it down.
I mean, even just saying women might get you canceled nowadays, tell the truth, right? Just saying the word in an offensive manner.
Sugar tits, she's an awesome bitch. She's here to call out all the hoes, and she wears the cutest bows. Sugar tits. If you want some salt and cringe, with sight of sassy minge. She's shaming all the sluts, it's sugar tits.
They shut it down because you can't have a group of blokey ex-footballers sitting on a panel talking sports with the occasional sexist jab at women or two.
This station won't or can't tell us if this show will be on next year, but this could well be the last in-house footy show that we do after 25 years. This is the longest running television show in Australian television history that goes live to air of its type. But of course, there was a few agenda seekers in this day and age. We stopped doing it.
I mean, I think that's probably why the Man Show probably got somewhat cancelled or went away. I'm not sure if that was the reason or not, though.
It's appropriate that it's opportune that I end my association with this show and the network on the off chance that this is the final show that we do. I don't think you realise how hard it is to do live television without transgressing every now and again, because we're not on delay, and I've said some pretty inappropriate things and I've had to apologise for them. I've probably been the most criticised and traduced person in the media in Australia for probably 2 decades. I wouldn't have it any other way, because you are what you are. I know who I am. I know what I am. I take it with a grain of salt. People have a right to say whatever they like about me or this show or people on it. But always remember this about critics. Critics are like eunuchs in a harem. They're there every night. They see it done every night. They see how it should be done, but they can't do it themselves.
Damn.
Remember, what even passes as offensive towards women has changed today towards the extreme. Bitches are more sensitive and offended than ever. Our society is getting precious.
What is it, like highly educated, easily offended?
Everyone, way too precious. Bitches in outrage further complained that all of this does come only a few years after a really scathing review was handed down about the way police officers here in Queensland handled family and domestic violence cases.
A really scathing review was handed down. It found there is a long history of misogyny, so this is just not a very good look for our police here on the Gold Coast.
A long way to go. All right, thanks very much, Georgia.
And that's why I moved here. I moved here from one of the most liberal, left-leaning states in Australia, who locked their citizens down for a ridiculous amount of time during the coof, to a place where we thought Australians still had a little bit of bollocks left in them to be able to take a misogynistic joke or two. So the investigation is still underway. We all know where this is heading. Poor bastard's gonna lose his job. You cannot make sexist jokes like that anymore. You can't make misogynistic jokes. Lad culture is dead. They don't want boys clubs. They don't want lad talk. And the feminist women will find you so everyone can be as miserable as they are.
I mean, it's just tone policing at the highest degree possible, right?
Thanks so much for watching. Remember to check me out on Rumble, BitChute, or X, and I'll see you in the next video.
You know, I make stupid misogynistic jokes here and there too, you know, when we watch women just being assholes, you know, sometimes I retort with, you know, you look like a blueberry from Willy Wonka or so, every so often, or you look like a torta. You know, it's like, am I going to get canceled? Hopefully not, but the chances are there, and they're pretty high. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.